It's the place you go when you finish your show. We're your two best friends. Our names are Max and Ben. We're self-proclaimed television experts. It's Reality Alert. Are you the mole?
Yeah.
Oh, we got him. We got him. We
That was
solved
easy.
the case.
That
we
was
got
easy.
him.
Oops, wait, I was supposed to.
Oh,
I'm bad at this. I'm sorry. I
You
can't.
solemnly swore to the producers
I
before this
know.
started that you would not fuck up the production.
I screwed up. I just couldn't keep a secret. It's so
You
exciting.
You swore.
It was so exciting. I couldn't
Oh my
help it. I
god.
just had to say it right away.
That really fucked up. You really fucked this
Couldn't
all up.
help it. It was so much fun.
That's not even mole behavior. That's purely idiotic behavior.
How dare you?
Whoa. Sheesh. Aggressive.
Yeah. Hey guys, welcome to Reality Alert. I'm Max Geyser. This is Ben Overzet. We are currently live on YouTube, on Twitch, on Twitter, and on Instagram. You can check us out at youtube.com/Reality Alert and on Instagram at Reality Alert Podcast. Yes, this podcast is live and you should subscribe to us and find us on all podcasting platforms. Ben, what are you thinking about The Mole so far this season?
I'm really liking it. It's really fun. We got a new host too, so that's interesting.
Yes, we have the host of All Things Considered. I mean, who would have thought that NPR would have the bridge to The Mole? Who would have thought?
Yeah. What's next? Reality Alert, I hope.
Yeah, I know.
That's how it goes. It goes CNN, NPR, Reality Alert.
Yes, we'll be the next host of The Mole. That's how it goes.
Be great. Be a big opportunity for us.
I like this a lot more. I feel like the missions and the structure are better. I do think that I liked season 1's cast a little bit more. I think they were a little more fun. I feel like Will was kind of like the villain. Will was like the villain douche. Greg was like the silly comic foil, and then I forget her name, but she was the wild card who like spent all of the money, and everybody thought she could be the mole, but then they figured out she was just like kind of crazy.
Yes.
I
will say one of the best characters on the show went home in this first batch. Tony, really disappointing because he's great TV. Really great TV, because I think everybody here could probably surmise that he was not the mole. Everybody watching, I mean, but the players that were playing with him, I think were really confused because of him.
Yeah, because he was a dumb douche. You know, he was great. A dumb douche. We love a dumb douche.
When you make like these extremely stupid, or in some cases extremely selfish moves, it really messes up the game in a way that's really fun.
Yeah, he would go from like selfish to selfless, and then he's in like a showman's on the fucking mole.
He was kind of just doing whatever. Whereas I feel like let's say Michael and Hannah, they would make moves that were like strictly selfish.
Yeah.
Which was leading them to people thinking it was molish behavior, but also screwing up the game and making it very difficult for people to get more money into the pot.
Yeah.
So it is interesting. Is that Michael?
Yeah.
Great. Oh, dude, that's a molish laugh.
That's actually Michael from his performance as Rum Tum Tugger in Cats. So
great. I love it.
Does Michael give like actor energy to you?
A little bit.
He gives like he does community theater energy to me, or once was an actor.
I did see in one of these people's bios that they are a part-time actor. Part-time.
Who?
It is Sean.
Really?
Yes.
I can see that.
Yep.
I can see him on like Law and Order. He has a good look.
Yeah.
But I feel like Michael is like the theatrical kind of feel. Maybe the Ren Fair vibe.
Yeah, the Ren Fair vibe. Let's hope.
I'm sorry, the fake laughter. Are we listening to this? That's not real.
Yeah, that's the villain from Little Mermaid. The
Yeah.
I forget what her name is. What's her name?
What?
Well, what's the villain's name?
Ursula?
Ursula. That's what it is. It's been a while since I was.
You're not coming to Disney trivia with me.
No, you don't want to bring me. It's been a long time. Seth Rogen is Pumbaa. That's all I know. Billy Eichner is the little guy.
Little guy. Timon?
Timon.
Oh my god. This is crazy. This is Disney 101.
I know. Disney heads are mad at me right now.
I'm gonna throw up.
Okay.
So we got to talk about our fun initial guesses real quick. I want to get into that if possible, unless you want to start off by just running through the dossier of characters.
No. Let's go for our initial guesses.
Okay. So in our Discord, which you can access through our Patreon, patreon.com/reality alert, we have a channel set up, a text channel for all of our mold discussion with our listeners. We all decided to give our first impression mole. So this is just who we're going off of based on, I just did the first 5 minutes of the show, basically. Few talking heads per person. My initial pick was Sean, the undercover cop, who is retired and now he's a stay-at-home dad. So the reason I chose Sean was he just came in with a very confident sort of attitude, very relaxed vibe, which I imagine that a mole would have. I imagine that a mole would be mostly relaxed throughout this. They have nothing to lose. And then I liked, from a producer angle, I like the idea of, let's get this stay-at-home dad, but he also is an undercover cop. So that's Derek from Big Brother 16. A producer might think, let's get this guy who can talk about deception and reading other people really well. Let's put him in there. And yes, you might think that that's a person who would be investigating the mole, but I think the show's trying to flip it on its head a little bit. And that might be a little bit of a red herring. So anyways, my first initial vibe was Sean for that reason. How about you?
Well, before I knew anyone's names, when I was doing the blind guess, even before they introduced themselves, just going off when they were like, I am the mole, or I'm not the mole, or whatever. So literally they barely talked. I just based on whatever. I thought Ryan before I even knew her name, because she was just very calm, kind of the same kind of assessment. Right. I don't know, gut instinct. Then when they started talking, I thought Andy, because similar to the vibe that you were thinking, I thought, older guy, forensic accountant. He could
never be the mole.
He could never be the mole. He's investigating. He's trustworthy, but apparently he wasn't the mole. So,
yeah,
because he got voted off.
He's just one of those guys. It's like Nish said in the first episode. He's like, I don't know why, but I trust Andy. There's just something about him that I trust. I don't think he's got a bone in his body to be the mole.
That's why he would have been a good mole. They should have made him the mole.
He would have been a great mole.
He would have been a great mole. They fucked up.
Yeah. Yep. But I'm feeling good about my mole prediction based on these first 5 episodes. And I'll just say it right now. I'm sticking with it. It's still my prediction.
Are you sure that it's not Q? Are you sure?
Well, there are red flags amongst anyone who calls themselves Q.
Because QAnon? Is that what you're thinking? Oh, okay.
Yeah, definitely.
There's been a bunch of Qs.
4chan's gonna go nuts if there's a guy named Q that was the mole.
There's been a bunch of Qs in reality TV this year. There was a Q on Survivor and a Q on RuPaul's Drag Race.
Wow. So basically, Q is taking over the world.
Q is sending a signal.
That's messed up, dude.
Wow.
So messed up.
You heard it here.
Oh no. It's a reality alert.
It's a reality alert. It's an alert to reality.
We have the opportunity to start making a lot of money if we pivot right now.
I know. This is how we're gonna do it.
This is if we sell our souls right now.
Yes. Okay, so let's get into it. We get to the Napier grass fields of Malaysia, and they're in like a crop circle like thing. We start to meet people. We meet Muna. She works in software. She's going to use her hijab because people, when they see her hijab, they see a Muslim woman who follows other people. She's going to use that to her advantage. We meet Andy. We talked about her. Hannah, she's going to use people seeing her as a dumb blonde. We get Deanna. She's from. Have you seen Don't Fuck with Cats?
No, but I know of it. It was another Netflix series.
Yeah,
correct? Yeah.
It's been a while. There was this guy that fucked with cats, and then Deanna, a bunch of web sleuths, they found him and they killed him. They murdered
so her
him.
kind of angle on this show is that she's good at detective work, right?
Well, yeah. Apparently, she's now. I don't know. Based on the show, she turned it into a career. Maybe she did. I don't know.
Yeah, it kind of seemed like it, didn't it?
She seems like a very. I don't remember that. It was a good documentary. She seems like such a serious person. It's like you're on the fucking mole. It's not real.
Yes.
She's like, this is just like any case. I'm gonna find the mole and stop him from killing these fucking cats. Like, Deanna, it's not real.
I know. I have zero suspicions about Deanna being the mole. Really?
Deanna,
zero.
You're on a game show. Deanna, it's a game show.
My suspicions are at zero with her. Zero.
Yeah. We meet Niche. He's an alpha male. He didn't say this, but I'm sure he would.
Why? Tony says he's someone that he would shove in a locker.
But he just always talks about how he's like a leader. He is very, like alpha energy.
Yeah,
you know what I'm talking about?
Leader of the debate club.
Leader debate club. Yeah.
Yeah. No, this was interesting to me that so they have to pick a leader at the beginning, and if that leader fails, they get replaced. So what if the group accidentally chose the mole as their leader, and then the other people who were the reserves, they ended up winning? The mole gets replaced?
Yeah,
That's kind of sus to me. That's very weird. I don't know.
Yeah, how would that?
The producers are playing roulette there, aren't they?
So then, if that happened, would they make the replacement the new mole?
Maybe.
That's the only way I could.
They would have to, yeah. Which would be a crazy turn.
Yeah.
But the mole's got to be on salary, right? I mean, they're getting a salary from Netflix for the season or something, right? That's what it is.
I don't know. I could see there being a kind of fucked up situation.
What do you mean?
Like, whereas you're still a contestant, even if you're the mole.
I see. But they didn't do that last season.
Yeah, but you never know what's going on with these. I don't know. Yeah, you're right. I don't know. It's very head scratching.
I think they're just a salary.
But I think there's a reason why these
paid actors.
There's a reason why these people were in masks and we didn't see them. Like we didn't get to meet
you mean
them.
These reserves?
Yeah. Like why didn't we get to see them?
We did get to hear them. Yeah, I don't know. Well, maybe because they wanted to use them in something else in the future. I don't know.
Maybe,
or maybe you're allowed to pay them less if their faces on screen.
Yeah, but I think that it was something to like obscure, like, something about the mole and coming in, and just so it was like, I don't know. There's just something fishy about the whole thing with the mole and making sure that the mole stayed in or something weird.
Yeah, I don't know.
Like they were never really intended to come in or something funny. Like, I don't know.
And yet they only barely pulled off the challenge.
Yeah.
They only barely pulled it off by one paint bullet.
Or was it edited to seem that way?
Yeah. I mean, it probably was, but
yeah. I will say that I know that Niche is very excited about his time here.
I'm very, very excited. I think I have like 30 pairs of underwear just in case. I don't know what's gonna happen on this show, but I have a lot of underwear.
Yeah, he shits his pants a lot, I think.
Yeah, I think. Yeah, I bet that happened a lot. They just didn't have time to show it to us.
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah, so this intruder competition, I would say like kind of the things that stood out were like when Andy is on like the spinning thing. Yeah, he keeps saying to go one direction, they keep pushing him the wrong one.
Yes, Michael was the main proponent of that too, because he was
Mm-hmm.
and you know, the camera did show it was very muddy there, very slippery. So I could see if that was actually genuinely what happened.
But
And Andy did get one shot off. Andy did hit someone.
yes.
So there is that. They did have success, whereas there was zero success with the slingshots. And the
Yes.
shooters on those were Q and Sean.
Yeah.
So, and it looked to me like those slingshots were going to be ineffective regardless of who was shooting.
Yeah, that one, the slingshots are really hard to assess. It's really like
Yeah.
slingshots are really difficult. Like on
really different. Yes. And
there was
it didn't look like why did they need a loader? Why did they need a second person? Like maybe that's
Yeah.
on Niche. Like maybe Niche, I don't know, had too many people at the slingshots, but I don't know. They weren't pulling it back far enough. Like I just think
Yeah.
neither of them really knew how to do it.
nobody knows how to work slingshots in a lot of these shows. There was an incident on the not an incident, but there was an instance on the GOAT this season
Uh-huh.
where somebody got voted out because people thought that he threw a slingshot challenge, but really he just was sucking at it because
Yeah.
not everybody is good at a fucking slingshot because nobody's used one before. So
It-
I think it's really hard to assess.
Yes. It also should be noted too, the blind spots for the slingshot people were like really vast. Like
you had four people.
you had a
rushing.
really narrow range to hit
Yeah.
the person. And it was all on one side. It wasn't like they were coming at it from two different angles. They were coming at it from one angle. So
Yeah. And then
I just don't see the slingshot people being sus here in this particular.
Yeah, and in zone 3, I think they all hit people, even though like they kind of blew their ammo weird at different parts, so also kind of hard to assess. But they got everybody out.
Niche was suspect a little bit of Ryan because she was quiet the whole time. But Ryan hit more people than anyone else there.
Oh yeah, he kept her close. He kept her close to him.
Yes.
Yeah.
But Ryan hit two people.
Yes.
Ryan was solid.
Yeah.
So, yeah, the only person that I think was even just a little bit sus throughout this entire thing was probably Michael. Throughout this challenge, it was Michael.
I agree.
Yep.
Well, Ben, in the cars on the way back, I want to let you know if you noticed. Did you notice something that happened? One of our favorite things that happens on reality TV shows. Did you notice?
Shrek reference?
Yes, a Shrek reference.
And I'm smelling like Shrek Swamp.
Could you believe it?
It's amazing.
there.
That'll do, donkey.
That'll do, donkey. That'll do.
I'm more nervous that you'll say, "Oh my God, Shrek," if you will let me be your Shrek.
You know, not everybody like onions.
Every reality TV show talks about Shrek now. It's in the contract.
This is very Farquadish behavior. I mean, Molish behavior.
So, do you think Netflix has a contract with DreamWorks to mention Shrek in every reality TV show at this point?
Absolutely.
That's the only way it makes
I
sense.
mean, all of Eddie Murphy's movies are on Netflix.
Yeah, and I keep hearing that there's an upcoming Donkey movie
There
coming
is
out.
Shrek 5 in 2025, and then you got the Donkey movie in 2026.
Yeah, do you think that we're getting paid by DreamWorks to talk about it?
Maybe.
Could that be part of the conspiracy?
I
Yeah.
look in my mailbox every day hoping to see green, a green envelope with green cash in it.
Yeah. So at the villa, Jennifer clicks with Hannah and Tony. So we get this alliance going on because I was hoping for a throuple situation here. I think that would have been very exciting. I think we all were. Everybody thought about this, right?
Yeah,
Right,
of
everybody? Yeah.
course. Yes.
So we have this thing where, for some reason, it happens in an old phone booth outside this villa. Very, It's the
As
mole.
well, you got to get a little British box,
Yeah, very mole. The mole aesthetic, old items from different. It's
very
weird because
Doctor Who-ish behavior.
yeah, but it's always like a TV from the 90s, but then like a telephone from the 80s. Like it's always like an older item, but the items aren't consistently from one era. The mole aesthetic. I wonder if they have a lookbook and how they describe things.
Well, it's because the mole is generational. It transcends time. It goes throughout all of time.
Wow.
There's been moles since the prehistoric days.
It's beautiful. All things are considered. It's really great. That's really cool. Yeah.
It's beautiful.
Yeah. So they have to decide who the three most trustworthy people are, and then those three people, all they know are going to have a choice to either help the group or themselves. And if they all choose the group, 5,000 people will be added.
Yes.
So Michael proposes that they have a person from each group today. Muna is selected from group 1. Everybody thinks he's genuine. From group 2, Jennifer quickly nominates Tony because he's in her alliance, and everyone says yes. And Jennifer then quickly nominates Deanna, and everyone says yes.
Yeah. Deanna was a good choice.
Yeah.
At the time, I think everybody saw Tony as a just sort of a goofy guy, and so they thought he's trustworthy. He's goofy.
Yeah. I feel like Jennifer was going to be like a main character at this point, and like a strategic player, and then I feel like she kind of folds into the background after this.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like I was like, oh, like as we're talking about this now, I'm like, oh yeah, Jennifer. What happened to her?
She went fast.
Yeah.
Yep. So sad.
Double
down Jennifer. That's what they call her.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, nobody really Muna really is pulling the wool over people's eyes at this point a little bit, but I think she gets like way too defensive about stuff, and she thinks that she's smarter than she is.
Yes, it is. It is interesting the way the edit had it, to where they made it look like, oh, she's a really good liar, to be able to say all this stuff to Jennifer, and then she goes into the phone booth and obviously takes the correction. But
yeah,
interesting.
We get to the quiz. The only thing I remember seeing that's super significant is that Muna selects Deanna as the mole.
Okay, interesting.
Did you have anything?
I had that Andy was thinking Michael because of the first challenge, and then Jen was thinking Tony as well.
Yes, yeah, I have that too. Yeah.
So Jen goes home. Obviously, we know Tony's not the mole, so that's probably
that makes sense.
She probably didn't spread her answers out enough either.
Yeah, she said she was going to, but she probably at the end said Tony and was like, the mole has.
Muna thought it was.
Muna said Deanna. She selected Deanna at the end.
Okay. Interesting. But she probably spread her answers out.
Yeah, I mean, I'm sure
the tough thing is early in the game, everybody's spreading their answers right.
I mean, it doesn't how many people got it right?
Probably,
we're talking about
probably hardly any, but it's whoever leaned a little too much into their suspicions. I think. So it could be that Jen leaned too much into her suspicions of Tony.
Yeah, she could have been like male. She could have said black hair. Like in a group of 3, there's so many things.
Yes. But I mean, the fact that she shifted everything towards Tony instead of Muna, she didn't even think about Muna as a possibility. If she had, who knows? Might have been different. But definitely Muna was the most obviously mole-like and suspicious of this reward challenge.
Yeah.
So of the first episode, I'd say the only 2 suspicious people we have so far are Muna and Michael in this first episode.
Yeah, that's what I have too.
Yeah.
It is we get like a little cliffhanger here, but Jennifer, she's eliminated, and Muna does not feel bad about what happened. And people at the table say the person who took the advantage needs to speak up.
Wow.
Yeah.
I mean, if you're not the mole, it might help you to speak up and say it.
Yeah.
Because if people are casting suspicion onto you, then they're voting the wrong way. I don't know.
But
what does that say?
The mole probably wouldn't speak up.
This early in the game? Yeah, that's what I don't know.
So it might be good just to be one
Very
of the
fine line of like, do I want people suspecting me right now?
Yeah. It might be good just to be one of the 3 people who are suspected.
Yeah. Yeah. It's a very fine line the mole has to walk.
We go to the next part, and we have this thing where they go on the treasure hunt. So Andy says that this is going to be like the Goonies. It's just like the Goonies. I like the part, they go into this cavern, they go down like this water slide thing. There's a treasure chest.
Yeah.
There's this lady and these 2 guys chasing them. It's
Josh
just like
Brolin is there.
Yeah, it's just like it.
Andy
Sean Astin is there.
Andy does the shuffle.
Yeah. This is the truffle shuffle, dude.
Yeah, Andy does it, dude. Didn't you see it?
So should we break down like what each team did real quick?
Yeah, let's do it. Yeah.
Okay. So
first we should say Niche decided to take another leadership role.
Well, because he's the leader.
He's the leader.
Leaders lead, followers follow.
Theoretically, let's play, let's get into if the mole did try and be the leader for everything. That's not a terrible strategy. Like if Niche is the mole, that's not a bad strategy. Like always trying to be the leader and just controlling everything. Because why not?
I just don't think he's the mole.
He is the only time I've seen him with molish behavior is in this challenge when they're doing the treasure hunt.
Yeah, it's
when
just
they're in the woods. Yeah,
it just doesn't like read like mole to me.
It doesn't.
I don't know. But yeah, when they're doing so we get to the smashing rock team. It is counting rocks on the beach thing. I mean, actually it does, because it's like, but like Q is doing the same thing.
Yeah. Q is basically just following what Niche is doing, and Tony just thinks that Niche is talking out of his ass, basically.
Yeah.
And Tony's kind of right. At one point, I think Tony even says, I think Niche is just talking. Like he's not.
Yeah.
Like, why are we following him? He's just talking.
I don't know if he is the mole, but he's someone that I would definitely give a wedgie to and shove in a locker.
Jesus.
Red flag.
Wow.
Red flag. Wow. I like when they're just dumping out the sardines and like the lychee and stuff, and they just do it for like a while, and they're like, eventually this will result in something.
Yeah. For what it's worth here, Q is the one who both finds the rocks with the numbers on them, and he's the one who sees the net. So add that to the, countless personality traits that would show that Q is no way in hell the mole. I think that still is pretty securely.
Please make him the mole somehow. Please.
It would be amazing. It would be amazing.
Please make the mole some crazy twist and not be like last season where it was so obvious. Please.
I think it's
please.
I think no matter who the mole is, they're going to be in the conversation at least. So if there's a name out there that's not in the conversation, then they're probably not the mole.
No, exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. But please.
Yeah. It would be amazing.
Make it a Usual Suspects level twist. Come on.
Please. That'd be awesome. Kaiser Soze. It was Kaiser Soze.
It was Ari the whole time.
That would be a great twist. I love that.
And he's like, and my voice really sounds like this.
It's a Shrek voice. Layers.
Layers.
He's Scottish.
The raft building. Andy is good at tying knots because his wife is a Girl Scout leader. I love that.
That's great.
I know. It's just so like
Cool that you remembered all that.
he's like, I had to prep for the mole, so I had my wife teach me knots.
Yeah.
That's how we do it.
Good.
Yeah, I really feel like his thought process made a lot more sense than Muna's.
Yeah.
I think it makes her suspicious. Like, why would you want a smaller raft? I didn't think
That was very suspicious to me too. Yeah.
Like when I saw the final size of the raft, I was like, what the fuck is this? This is so small.
You would think that the more barrels as buoys, the better. So I don't know, like because you also don't know the size of the chests either at that point.
It's like a Titanic door-sized raft. It's like, what's going to fit on this? I was like, this is paltry. Like, what the fuck?
Yeah. And she even admitted she knows nothing about building this stuff. So why is she like taking a leadership role all of a sudden and saying, I think we need to stop here?
I don't know. We see what on Survivor all the time. People just like fucking bossing other people around.
It's true.
Like insane.
It's hard to tell what is, hubris versus what is
I know.
What is actual good advice. Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, that was the only thing that I saw as sus from the raft building was that.
Who was on the raft? Was Sean on the raft building?
Sean was on raft building. The only thing we saw from Sean was that he was just joking around the whole time. Like he was just cracking jokes right and left.
You know what I noticed? I think like the second that Muna suggested that they make it shorter, Sean instantly was like, okay, and just started cutting it smaller.
Yeah.
Like it wasn't like a discussion. He was just like, okay, you know?
Yep.
Now,
sus, very sus.
The shipwreck team, Michael, Hannah didn't feel like he was hustling. And then diving is another thing we see on reality shows. A lot of people have trouble diving in water and going down distances. Now, I have no problem doing this, so I didn't know it was like a problem that people had. But even on like the challenge with like really athletic people who can do like anything, people like can't dive like 10 feet sometimes. So they just can't.
Michael was a former lifeguard, so you would think that he could dive. But at the same time, if you're walking like a mile in the water up to your waist and then having to dive multiple times to lift this heavy thing, I could see it. I could see it being tough. But he does at one point drop it even further down than what it was to begin with on the boat, which is sus. That's super sus.
And based on the way that like the sabotages worked last season, it seems like the way that the mole works is that the earlier sabotages are more of time delays. And then the later you get into the season, it's more like blatant, like I'm just going to fuck up the challenge.
Yes.
So it seems like if Michael is the mole, this would be more of like, oh, I'm just trying to like delay the challenge to make you guys fuck up. So this would add up with mole behavior.
With Tony and Hannah and the way some of these players are playing, the mole doesn't have to do much at all.
Yeah.
They can lay low in these first few episodes. Easy.
Yeah.
No problem. But yeah, that was the only other thing about that shipwreck crew was I thought that Ryan proved very much in this that she's a player and not the mole.
Yeah.
Ryan found the shipwreck. She was very on top of it, like getting everybody to come over, trying to come up with solutions. I really felt like Ryan was eliminating a lot of suspicions.
Yeah. Why did she do that?
Yeah, I don't know. Right.
Everyone unites. They get the raft, and the raft fucks up while it's being pushed, and Tony and Michael are kind of like the primary suspects.
It was Tony, Michael, Ryan, and Hannah were all on that side.
Yeah, but I feel like people primarily talk about Tony and Michael.
They do, but I think it's still relevant that
Yeah.
Hannah and Ryan are on that side.
And based on what we know later about stuff, I really don't think Tony and Hannah could be the mole. like 100%. Well, especially because Tony gets voted off or eliminated. So
it would be very strange if the couple that was making out, if even one of them was the mole.
But Netflix doesn't have rules.
This is true.
Melinda was a host, and then she was put on a dating show with the contestants of the host.
Honestly, I thought about that too, and I thought, well, I don't know. Maybe the mole would
hook up with someone.
Maybe. I mean, it's Netflix.
Yeah.
It's the Wild West. Good God.
Yeah. So this is, I really love this twist when we get to exemption time and they put the prize pot on a TV screen and it's going to tick down until everybody leaves the room and the last person will get the exemption. And it starts at $45,000.
They knew what they were doing with that one.
So you really learn exactly how far these people will go.
Yes. I will say, not to fixate too much on Sean here, but Sean was one of the first people here that said, I'm going to be staying in. These quizzes are really hard. He was one of the first, but then he backed away from that really quickly after he saw how hard Tony and Hannah went. And he realized I didn't need to do any of this.
Yeah.
Just throwing that out there that the editors put that in, him saying that. And Hannah and Tony going for it that hard, I really get the feeling that like they wouldn't be a mole if they went for it that hard. I don't know.
No, I especially because they kiss and it just doesn't. It's just not mole behavior.
It's messy. Yeah.
It's
although maybe it's like the greatest cover ever, and we haven't.
Maybe we're
not seeing the genius of the mole, of Hannah being the mole, which is that she'll fuck one of the other people.
Maybe there's secretly two moles, and Hannah betrayed the other mole and it's like traitors.
That would be cool. That would
yes.
Be
cool. But obviously the best part of this is Q.
You come on a show to win money, not to lose money.
That was great. That was really great.
Motherfuckers is Bonnie and Clyde.
We're having fun. We're flirting.
Classic Bonnie and Clyde quote.
Yeah, we're having fun and we're flirting. You're Bonnie and Clyde.
That's the line everybody thinks of when they think of that film, Bonnie and Clyde. We're having fun. We're flirting. How can you not love Q though? I mean, is he not the one that we're all rooting for to actually like win the game?
I know,
I feel
right?
like everyone wants him to win. I hope he wins.
Is he a school bus driver? Because he says
it just said bus driver. Is it?
I know, but he censors his words. Like he says fudge and mother freakers, and like I wonder if it's because he's around kids all the time.
That could be, yeah. You're right. I'm sure it is.
I just wonder.
Probably
it's cute. So Hannah flirts her way to the win because Tony is an idiot. She bats her eyelashes and he can't resist.
She blows a kiss.
Yeah. And then somewhere, I mean, we'll still go through things, but somewhere in between this and like somewhere else, they become a couple.
Yeah, that was a jump like no other. Before you know it, they're holding hands and smooching in front of the
did they just not get the footage? Like, why isn't this? There's no confessionals. Nothing's explained.
I don't know. It's pretty weird.
It's really, really weird, and no
really
one
wrapped up quick.
No one talks about it.
Yeah. Maybe the producers or the editors, however, maybe just the editors really wanted to stay fixated on the game. Maybe the producers were a little annoyed that these two were trying to get on Perfect Match. I don't know.
Yeah, but this is hilarious. Come on.
It is hilarious. It's crazy.
Yeah. So it gets down to $10,000. Tony thinks that this will be beneficial to him because she'll trust him and be another set of eyes for him.
I mean, they already kind of had that trust, so
yeah, he's just macking it, you know.
Yeah, he's like, I'm gonna get a kiss later.
Quiz number 2. I have that Andy says Tony and Hannah were suspicious, but going for an exemption is something a player would do.
Yeah.
He's suspicious of the raft people, but is spreading his answers. Ryan is focusing on Michael.
Yep.
And Tony thinks it's Michael or Niche.
Yeah, that was interesting. I also had Niche was thinking Hannah.
Yeah, but he's still spreading. Yeah.
Answers. Yeah. So the only thing significant here that I'm seeing is obviously if Hannah was an answer for Andy a lot on this quiz, then you can rule out Hannah more too, just like Tony. And then obviously Tony selecting Michael and Niche more often, you could make a case for Michael and Niche having a little less sus on them now too.
I do see that.
But they're still spreading answers, so you can't really say that too. You can't say it too definitively this early in the game, I think.
Yeah. Yeah. It's tough. It's also tough when like Michael becomes like the top answer, but like if Michael was really the mole, why would they do a challenge where like he's the top answer? Like why would they give it away? Like in that final challenge.
Right.
So Andy's eliminated. Sad. I liked him.
I know, he's so nice.
I know. I also like having older people like on these shows.
Yeah.
You know, like it's.
And I know if they have a Girl Scout cookie challenge where they have to sell the most cookies, he's gonna win it.
His wife gave him tips to go on the mole.
That's right.
But they're always like, well, I know he is older. And it's like, he's like 60, 65. They can still like do things. Do you know what I'm talking about? Like
do things too.
He's in shape. It's okay. You know, I'm like, can we have more age diversity on these shows? You know, like life experience. Like it's
it
okay.
Would be nice. Yeah.
Yeah. Like it's good. Anyway. Yeah. But this Hannah and Tony kiss. When I was watching this, I literally like I didn't process it, and then I kept watching, and then I was like, wait. Did they just kiss? I had to rewind because nobody reacted. Like it was as if nothing happened. There were no confessionals being like, oh, and then they kissed. No, like what? That's a big deal. That's weird.
Maybe like as we're saying it out loud, I'm thinking to myself, maybe because the editors knew Tony was leaving soon, they didn't want to fixate too much on it, knowing that he was going to be gone. Like in an episode.
But it was kind of a big deal because she like cried and stuff. And then
yeah,
like,
I know. I didn't expect her to get that emotional. That was crazy.
And then he goes to movie night to like make sure that like the relationship is real. Like I don't know, it kind of like was a big deal.
I mean, how long do you think this was? It's been probably like a week that they've known each other.
Maybe.
That's very bizarre.
Love is love, Ben. Okay.
I suppose it could have been 2 weeks. Some of those challenges have huge setups.
Yeah.
And that production has to put together. So it could be they fell in love in 2 weeks instead of 1.
Yeah. So on the way to Forest City, Tony and Hannah hold hands now. And so the two cars are their teams. Sean is the team captain of car 1, and Michael lets Tony know that no one is picking him after yesterday for captain. And car 2, they pick Melissa, and Niche was wondering, oh, aren't you guys definitely going to pick me? And they were like, no, we're kind of done with that, you know. Yeah. We're in episode like 3 or 4 by now, so we're kind of moving on to new stuff here.
Just be the leader the entire game.
Yeah, okay.
We're never going to get anywhere.
Yeah, so this
we're going to be counting rocks in every challenge.
Yeah. This heist thing, I feel like Sean, like the acting was pretty good about being afraid, but then once he went over it, he went down way too fast.
Okay, yeah, I have a theory about that because I'm still sticking to my theory that Sean is the mole, obviously. I think that Sean expected by the time he was done with his panic attack or whatever, that Melissa would have been down and that enough time would have been wasted and he would have been good. But since he saw what he saw, he was like, forget it. Let's just go. Let's do it.
What do you mean he saw what he saw?
Actually, I don't think he did. He didn't see Melissa going down, right?
No.
So he had no idea where she was at.
No.
So he may have thought she's already down there. So I might as well just go down.
He just went so fast and
did.
acted like so comfortably. I think he should have been like slower.
Yeah. But it was
But
he was so afraid. He was so afraid that he had to go down faster.
I mean, I just would have been like, on the microphone being like, "Oh my god, I'm scared." You're like on the walkie-talkie, like guys, like, but he was like, "We're good. 4 clear, 5 clear, blah, blah, blah. Check, check." Like, be like 5, 6. I'm scared.
I'm as scared as donkey in Farquaad's dungeon.
Yeah.
Shrek. I'm scared Shrekless.
Yeah. Melissa was really slow. Like, really.
She was taking her time, really.
Like,
did she just think she would go into a free fall and die if she went any faster? I was curious.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, she said that she was like, "I'm afraid I'll have to do this again," but I'm like, I don't know. I don't know. So yeah, car 1, their problem is that they don't shine the flashlight on everything, which I don't know why they didn't do that.
Yeah, well, things move along really quickly with car 1. They're just like moving from one thing to the next so fast.
Yeah.
They didn't really give the flashlight the time of day at all.
I mean, the clock thing was a little bit of a red herring, but still,
Q did find the flashlight. He sort of had sus put on him by the end of it because he was the one with the flashlight. So it's on him that he didn't.
But everybody was like
with the flashlight.
ignoring him the whole time that he was like, "Guys, the flashlight, we need batteries, we need the stuff." And they're like, "Shut up, Q."
Yeah.
We're solving this.
I will say one thing about that car 1 group, and I think this is notable, but it could be. Well, let me just say this. Michael found the safe. He was the one that found it. And he's been one of the more sus people so far. And he found it alone, too. It's not like he found it with someone else there.
Yes.
So he called it out to everyone else, which could be like a course correction, trying to gain back a little more trust with people after the last couple challenges.
Yeah.
But I thought that was interesting. And Muna, by the way, in the other one also found the safe alone.
True.
Too.
Yeah, I'm not really suspicious of her. She just doesn't. She hasn't done anything too sabotagey. The raft. It just feels ego-y
the phone booth thing was the one thing, really, that was the most.
I would do that as a player. I think what Andy said was right. That's stuff that a player would do.
It's the challenges more where if you're fucking up the challenges, that's when you're more suspicious because that's money in the bank that's gone.
Yeah, because especially like for the phone booth thing, you weren't even taking money from the pot. You're just not adding money to the pot too.
You were preventing $5,000 from going.
So, and it's only $5,000. So, yeah. And it's the first one, and you have no information. Mm-hmm. So, really, a smart thing to do is to take that.
Yes. Dina also found the flashlight, by the way.
Who did?
Dina found the flashlight.
Oh, Deanna?
Deanna for that. For group
okay.
Group 2. Yep.
Yeah, she was mad that Niche was like also finding things. She didn't like it. She's the web sleuth, okay? She is the fuck with cats star, all right?
Yeah.
So Niche draws suspicion because he decides that when they only have one attempt left that they should open the clue, which I thought was a bad idea because why would this clue necessarily give you like number order?
Yes. That's very specific.
Yeah. A little suspicious from Niche, actually, the more we are thinking through with this. Yeah. Niche is moving up a little bit for me in my suspicion order.
Between this and the rock fiasco. But also, I think
Maybe he's
Tony,
just a
I
little-
think Tony really was guessing him a lot on the quiz.
Yeah.
So that's the only thing that makes me go, but maybe not. You know.
Yeah, he could just be a little
But
people.
I think he's a top 5. I think he's in the mix. for
Yeah,
sure.
but and reality TV people can just be a little dumb. So
This
that
is
could just
true.
be,
This
know,
is true.
go
It
watch
is also it's early game too. You know.
go watch Trivia on the Challenge, and you'll see what I'm talking about. You know, watch them try to spell like basic words. So they get $5,000. You know, it's something. I liked this fortune cookie thing that they did. I thought it was fun. I like these like little games that they have.
Basically,
So
a game of bullshit.
yeah, a game of bullshit. So the first thing that happens is Tony says he has 20K, and basically Ryan also says she has 20K, and she has the exemption, and she says she's going against him so she can keep it and get the exemption because she thinks nobody trusts Tony.
Oh, dude, please.
Oh, dude, please believe me, dude. Please, guys. What?
Yeah.
How did this happen? How did she fuck this up that people actually believed Tony?
I don't know. I think maybe Tony just was readable enough.
Yeah.
I don't think it had anything to do with Ryan as much as it did Tony being so adamant.
How was everybody so good at this or so bad at this that they only lost $5,000? It was kind of disappointing.
Yeah.
Because it would have been juicier if a lot more people had exemptions too.
It was just Michael, right?
Yeah.
Michael had the only exemption.
Yeah. Nobody was even mad about it.
Mm-hmm.
Nish swears on his family's life. Muna really attacks Hannah, and they went at it. Sean is a bad liar.
Yeah, Sean didn't fight very hard for that exemption, in my opinion.
No, and I think like he might have been like his lying was really bad, like really terrible. You know,
almost like he was acting. I don't know. I'm just saying, he's the mole.
Tony's the mole. He's coming back in.
He's coming back.
He's coming back.
He's gonna get voted in from a car outside.
Yeah. Yeah. Muna really rugged people the wrong way, I think, with this whole like defensive thing. I think it kind of revealed herself to people.
Yes.
Which might have been good or might have been bad. I can't really tell.
I really didn't know what to make of that. I was like, is this Mulch behavior or is this the opposite of Mulch behavior? I don't know anymore.
Yeah. I mean, I really don't think she's the mole, but I don't know if it like helps or not. So
yeah.
Oh, Nicole
Hannah,
says,
Hannah throughout this whole fortune cookie thing too. Honestly, throughout the whole show, she just games so hard that I just can't see her being the mole. Like I just can't see it.
Yes.
She's gaming too hard almost. I don't think the mole would do that.
No, she's just strategizing. Nicole in the chat says, I don't watch Big Brother, so I don't know what this means, but someone on social said Muna was in Sequester, so this maybe isn't her first show. Sequester is an online strategy show that people play. So it's not like a televised show, but people play it like online and people watch it that way. So it's actually not Big Brother, unless she was
formerly produced by recent Circle cast member Jordan Staff, right?
Yes.
Am I crazy?
No, yeah, he told us that.
Bro, that is such bullshit.
Boo tomato, boo tomato, boo tomato, boo tomato.
But not to Sequester School. Okay. Deanna has never lied, and Q will never deceive us. They are paragons of virtue.
Wow.
Saints.
My God. Saints. We should be so blessed.
Yes. Wow. So yeah. And then it comes down to Michael, and he pulls off the
Michael did
final
pretty
one.
good. He did pretty good.
He did. Nobody was even thinking about him. Like
No.
everybody just kept talking about the
The
other
way
people.
he articulated it too in his confessional of wanting to say just enough but not too much. I was like, this is good. This is slick.
Yeah.
Very slick. I mean, even if Michael isn't the mole, he's definitely like one of the best players in the game.
Yeah.
He's a really good player.
He's up there though.
He could be a mole. I mean,
Yeah.
I kind of agree. When we have that truck challenge later, I was like, yeah, that top 3 checks.
Yeah.
That checks out.
But it's not actually the top 3.
What do you mean?
That is not the top 3 players. They didn't say this
No,
is
the top 3 quiz.
The
People
way that they
on quiz.
phrased it, I believe, is just one of those players is the top voted player. But I don't think those were the top 3.
I don't know. I could have sworn I heard them say it is.
I'm
the top.
not sure because I
I'm
think I'm
almost
around.
positive they said
That would make
it
the
is
most
top 3
sense.
vote
But then I
getters.
was like, I don't think that's what they said. But that would make the
I
most
could have
sense.
sworn Ari said it. I'm like pretty
I'm gonna
sure.
lean towards you.
Okay. Hey, commenters, if you remember it or don't remember it, let us know in the chat, please.
Also, are you the mole?
Me? Yes.
Oh, okay.
We already established this at the beginning of the episode.
Yes. Quiz Moon is suspicious of how slow Melissa is, and by Ryan's actions at the fortune game, slow in not in general, slow at the climbing down the thing.
Right.
Hannah is scared by Michael and Muna lying at the fortune cookie game, so suspicious of them. And Melissa is thinking about Niche opening the clue. She is still splitting her votes.
So this is 2 in a row where people have suspected Niche and then gone home. After.
Yeah, so it's not Niche.
It really seems like it's not Niche.
Yes.
If it was, I would be so shocked. So
yes. Tony and Hannah kiss again. Ooh, baby. We get to movie night. I like this. This is fun. Everybody but Q says yes.
Yeah.
Why?
Poor Q.
Q. Why?
Because he's the mole.
Yeah, he didn't need to.
He didn't need to.
So he just didn't go.
What if? Also, nobody selected his video. Why?
Well, there were only 3 videos, right?
Yeah. Well, no, I mean
4.
There were videos for everyone if you selected it. You know.
No, but there were only 4 videos that people watched.
Yes. But I mean, he had a video of people.
Yes.
And he would have just been like, "I'm a bus driver. I'm not the mole."
I feel like the Hannah video was kind of like some people were relieved and some people were. It's kind of just like you saw what you wanted.
Because he was biased.
Well, Tony was, but I feel like you kind of saw what you wanted to see in it.
Right.
Like, so who watched it? It was Sean.
Sean watched it.
Tony. And then one more person did.
Niche watched it.
Niche. I feel like Sean was like, I don't really know what to do with this.
Yeah.
I feel like Niche was like, oh, this is very suspicious. And then Tony was like, no more trust issues in our relationship. I trust her now. I bet she trusts me too. Because
I love her so much and I bought a ring.
Because I had to go watch a video to trust her behind her back.
That's real trust.
Yes.
Now he just needs to go through her phone once or twice to really trust her.
Yeah. The Michael video Hannah watches, and he says he's ready to manipulate people and wants to confuse people as the mole.
Yeah, I mean, well, that's everybody's. Muna said it. Muna said it too. Of course, it's an audition tape.
Yeah, I mean, I don't really know how helpful these videos are besides Sean's.
Sean's video was extremely helpful because it was information that he hadn't given to people already.
Yeah. Deanna does some web sleuthing Muna talks about her like misleading people plan, and Sean reveals that he's not a stay-at-home dad. Michael apparently had suspected this because he had a grenade tattoo on his bicep, and apparently he was walking around, the whole time just saying, Blue Lives Matter and all this stuff about this, and all the stuff. It's really crazy. Huh?
It's fucked up.
Stay at home, dad.
Man.
Yeah.
Well,
Kept
dad
talking
dad
all the
should have stayed at home.
Yeah, he kept being like, when I was arresting this perp. I mean, putting my kid in his playpen.
It's also the fact that he was just doing open carry on set all the time. He had a gun on his waist. And he used it all the time too. It was really disturbing. Just constantly using
having a grenade tattoo and not thinking that would alert people to the fact that you were an undercover cop is like,
he likes Call of Duty. That's all.
It's just like the most undercover cop move, because undercover cops are always so obviously undercover
so
cops.
Obvious plants. Yeah.
You can always spot them.
You can literally see the chain that holds their badge under
Yeah.
their shirt. Yeah. Anyone got any drugs?
Yeah.
I'm here for the protest.
So this gala mission, this is fun. They play Guess Who. They even spell that out that's what it is very clearly. I like that.
Yeah. This was a fun one.
I like how Deanna has her tie, pulled a little down because she's punk rock.
Yeah. Very cool.
Web sleuth style. It's a game of a process of elimination. So we have a little bit of stuff that happens. Sean thinks Michael saw his video, or does he know? So he intentionally sabotages by switching pictures. Michael sees this and thinks, wouldn't the mole use a little more tact? So he tells us it wouldn't really, add up. I think it's interesting that like they both are kind of in each other's heads here.
Yes. They both seemingly suspect each other. Yeah.
Yeah. Like, and I kind of agree with Michael, like, wouldn't the mole use a little more tact? But then I think about like the mole last season, and she didn't use any tact. So
Yep.
she was just blatantly like terrible at everything.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
But her whole act was that she was kind of like a head case. So I don't know.
Yes.
Ryan misspeaks about which pilot has which item. Hannah notices this information and decides to keep to herself to use for the quiz potentially. That was the other thing that happened. That was smart of her, but then her boo goes home.
Oh.
No. Yeah, and they only get 10K because of these mishaps. These people are not good at making money or keeping it.
They're not. Nope.
Yeah. I do get it though. I feel like the way that this is set up, these like games where like they have to keep fighting for exemptions are really set up just to burn money. I feel like last season it was not, and this season it's just like, well, how do you not just bid or fight for the exemption? Like there's no way not to.
Yep. So yeah, the people that were mostly suspicious during this waiter challenge, Sean, obviously, Michael's in there because he saw it and let it happen. Then you have Hannah and Ryan.
Yeah.
Ryan also had, but here's the thing with Ryan, because I still feel like she's proven herself so much to be a player instead of a mole so far before this challenge. This was the first moment we would see of any molish behavior. And I got to say,
it's too late.
It's too late. And I could see how maybe she just screwed up. Maybe she just saw the wrong thing.
Yeah.
Or accidentally said the wrong one.
We're on episode 5. Like it's, and then like everything.
And of course, Hannah's going to do what Hannah's going to do because she's going to use it to her advantage and, play the overplay almost. Yeah.
Everything else that was a mistake was predicated on these mistakes, so I don't consider them like suspicious, you know? Like the mistakes of like the lady with the short hair and the glittery dress was based on these happening. So like anything with Q and like the other people in the backup house was kind of suspicious.
Yes.
I like people being like, well, I have waiting experience, so I'd be good in the front of house. It's like, you're not really being a waiter. You're not. It doesn't matter. You're not.
It doesn't matter.
It's a game show. You're on a stupid game show.
Are you good at Guess Who?
It's not real. Michael confronts Sean about the video. Sean wants him to think that he is the mole. So he tells a story about how he doesn't wear his wedding ring because when he was undercover cop, he didn't want people to think about his family when he was arresting him. And he's like, I would share things, but people haven't asked me, I would totally tell them I was an undercover cop.
That's what undercover cops do. They tell people.
Yeah, exactly.
He should have just been like, oh, you didn't notice? Most people just notice right away.
It's weird because after this in confessional, Michael says he wants to go all in on Sean in the quiz, but then when we get to the quiz, Michael kind of goes for Sean, but also splits his answers. He doesn't really go all in.
You shouldn't this early in the game. You gotta save those suspicions for later.
Yeah,
that's late game voting.
Tony says him and Hannah are both going after Michael, and he's splitting his answers a little bit. So maybe this is kind of indication that Michael is not the mole. And Hannah says she's going after Michael, but definitely throwing answers towards Ryan, who she didn't tell Tony about.
Yes. Yeah. This was the moment where I started to think maybe Michael is just not the guy. I don't know.
Yeah.
I was starting to stray away from him at this moment. Because for me, up until this point, I was like, it's neck and neck, Michael and Sean for me.
So is Sean actually, did we get confirmation of who the top answer really was?
Michael was.
So it's Michael. So it's weird. Like, why did Tony go home over other people then? Did he just get the most wrong about it? Like that.
Probably. He probably leaned too much into it.
Yeah.
It's people who go out on a limb.
Yeah.
It's the double down Doms out there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow. Oh, gotta love him. I really miss him on the show. Yeah. So Ryan, Hannah's really upset. Ryan says, are you stunned because he's gone or because you knew something? But Michael comforts her. Is that true behavior or mole behavior, Michael comforting her?
I don't know. That's hard to say. I don't know.
Yeah.
I really don't.
I like the shipping depot mission. I don't know why they put the doubler in the Muna van when they obviously should have put the doubler in the secondary one, and just because so many because there's a mole.
There's so many people lying. You might as well just You might as well just make it to where it's the same amount of money that you win either truck. Yeah.
And that the game is going to happen. We're going to lose all the money anyway. So, maximize the,
just
actually it didn't matter.
To leave the third truck empty. You don't need to put $5,000 in that third truck, in my opinion.
But it didn't matter because they gambled the money away anyway.
At least they won something.
But it didn't matter. It all goes down to zero. So
yeah, that's true. That's right. Yeah.
They agree on this 35-15 split. It originally starts at 8,000, 15,000, and 54,000. Michael says if anyone is lying, we should keep it safe, and that's why there's originally 8,000 in Sean's truck.
Which was also that was also a sus thing to say from Michael too. Everybody's like, well, why would you say that unless you're lying?
Yeah, Niche is particularly suspicious of Michael at that point.
Yeah.
Like, why? You know?
It's like if you're gonna do this bit, if you're gonna be in this character, then go all the way. You know,
It's weird. Michael seems like guilty about it, though. He's not like being like, "Mwahaha." He's like guilty about the whole
not
thing.
Molish. It's not Molish.
Yeah, it's weird.
Yeah.
So the trucks are revealed. The final amounts are 51,000 in Muno's truck, 19,500 in Michael's, and 5,000 in Sean's truck. So they get a very paltry amount of money. Great job. We get to this advantage game, and somebody says this great thing that's like, you know, this is a cycle. We all work together during the mission, and then we screw each other over. And it just is like, that's like the new setup of the show, and it's great. But like, how are they supposed to make money? Like maybe when there's less people, it just seems like the format of the show just is not conducive to making money.
No,
I love it.
Players are always going to try and just get to the next level. They're always going to go for these exemptions.
Which honestly makes sense, because if you don't make it to the next level, you're not going to make money. Like I think bidding all of the money kind of makes sense, because somebody else is going to bid almost all the money anyway.
Right. But it's kind of like the traders, you know, where it's like they're going to have one big one at the end that has way more money than all the other teams have had. That way there's a little incentive at the end. I mean, that's just what the producer.
And then you win. Maybe you get, you know, it's the mole, you get 50,000 followers or something. You know?
Yeah. I mean, that's it too. Yeah. That's what Tony was going for.
I know. So the first couple of advantages, the dossier, that really was a waste, so they pass on it. The second one is what is that? The correction? I don't think that would have been.
The correction's not terrible.
I know. I would have been tempted to bid on it, because
$5,000?
I think the third one could have been a total like it could have been like a misnomer. It could have been nothing. It could have been like a plate of worms or something. I would have been.
It could have been exactly what we saw happen, which is it drains the pot completely. So it's like you might as well take this correction thing before everybody jumps in on that one.
Well, exactly. I would have been tempted to bid on the correction. It's still useful.
Decent advantage, and you don't have to bid that much. People might not get that mad at you. It's not as rough, because whatever you bid on this in the final round, you know they're going to bid much more, and people are going to be mad at that person. They're not going to be thinking about you taking the correction.
But what's so bad about people being mad at you in this game? They can't vote you out.
No, it's true. It's true.
And also it's anonymous.
Yeah, sort of. I mean, I think someone's given the opportunity, right?
Yeah.
We're going to find out after the cliffhanger on Friday. But
yeah, and also like I feel like with the mole and reality shows, like it could be like, here, you eventually you can bid for an advantage to find out who won this advantage, you know?
Yes.
Thing.
Yes.
Q reacting to this stuff is so funny.
Oh, hell no, man. Oh, what?
And this
Q needs to just get in on this selfish stuff. He needs to be selfish.
I'm hoping that he's the one that did it.
Ugh.
Here's this classic line from Q.
We're not supposed to be taking money out. That's the mole's job to take the money out, not us.
Well, Q, the mole is one of you. The mole could have done this.
Yeah.
And I guess next week we'll find out who did it.
Insane.
Yes.
I love this batch. It's really good.
I had a really fun time.
Me too.
A really fun time. I'm excited for the next 3 episodes.
Do you have a new prediction
Friday.
now? Because I'm still sticking with Sean. Obviously, your prediction is no longer Andy, but do you have a prediction now?
I don't know. I'm feeling Michael still. I'm feeling Michael.
Okay. There you have it.
There we go.
We'll have new predictions next week, too.
Yes. So we'll be back on Monday or Tuesday with our recap of episodes, whatever, 6, 7, 8, I think are the next one's coming out. And we will see you then. Head over to patreon.com/realityalert for bonus content. We're going to be recapping the Ultimatum South Africa. There's tons of other great stuff there. It's a great way to support the podcast, and follow us on Instagram at Reality Alert Podcast. Please subscribe to us on YouTube at youtube.com/Reality Alert. We will see you all very soon. Okay. Bye.
Bye-bye.
It's the place you go when you finish your show. We're your two best friends. Our names are Max and Ben. We're self-proclaimed television experts. It's Reality Alert.